Christmas is coming up, and Christmas is about being kind to others, making them smile, right? Which I think is great. I think it's a noble idea. But hear me out. Should we always exhibit kindness? For example, take religious tolerance. I know it's a touchy-feely subject, but is it really good for us to exhibit kindness in that department long term? Shouldn't we move on and leave religions behind? Isn't it time? Clearly, it's not. Or, for instance, should we be more kind to people that continue to fail us over and over again? I think not. Not when it's repetitive. Now, I'm not saying that we should be rude to those people either, by the way. Just that we should probably just quit the game. That's all. And it's just things like that, those little thoughts that we all have. And it all comes down to the fact that promoting kindness, however great and noble that is, doesn't really work to solve problems. Not deep down, not permanently. Now, I also have this other problem. I've noticed that we're very much freaking out when someone even mentions that some of our options, for example, some very specific products or types of service, not ones that are commonly used or needed to survive, could be taken away from us. We panic. It seems like we're almost obsessed with this idea of freedom, with our version of it. We took that idea and we allowed anyone to produce and sell anything. And it is very much happening. We allowed advertising too, and it is an area of life that is very much thriving nowadays, in contrast to our happiness, unfortunately. And why is all this? Why do we have such a hard time deciding and making a unified decision that something is better than something else and simply mass producing it? And maybe three other options to satisfy the customers that won't be satisfied with the number one option, like in small quantities for people that will think differently. But three other options, not 70 or 700. And what does freedom mean, or any of the things, any of humanity's achievements, if we still can't even appreciate the wonder of life and this planet? Can't respect it, can't live alongside to it, gotta destroy it. And yes, I'm talking about the climate changing and about the pollution that's everywhere. And it's not that hard to experience it really. Just wait for a cloudy day, some fog, go out, and there you have it. It's hard to breathe because of the smog. And even though we have this abundance of things and products, and we're clutching so tightly to this idea of freedom that we have, we still continue to, excuse the language, screw people over every day, on an everyday basis, on a daily basis. Through carefully written bureaucratic documents and regulations, through formal language, overusing formal language, through inventing this thing called companies and avoiding personal responsibility as a result, through advertising and spam that's everywhere. And even when you try to fix something, you might find out that it's practically impossible. I mean, look, I recently discovered a major illegal activity. Well, okay, maybe not major, but not minor either. Anyway, no one is getting hurt, okay, but someone is making money in a way that is illegal and in a way that is morally wrong too, by rebranding them, so essentially just changing the name of, and selling a whole range of products that belong to someone else for a price that's twice the price of the real products too. And if you just do enough research, it turns out that there's pretty much nothing that you can do that will actually work in this situation. Even though I've discovered connections that lead outside of this business, and I know that the owner is possibly a part of a bigger mess, let's just say. And yet, at least where I live, my only option is to go to the local police station. Which you know what local police stations can be like, and also I haven't even used the service myself, so I can't even file anything. I can't file a complaint because no harm done, essentially, right? I just know, I have knowledge of what's happening and I would like to see it end, but as for now, there is no way to report it anonymously and for authorities to take action. There just isn't a way. Even though formally, and when you go online or when you ask somebody, they might give you a way and then you find out it's not a way. And I know this because I once experienced a very similar situation, except back then I was the client and I got misled, and the only option to do something about it was to have a full-blown court case. And I don't have anything to say about that, just the following. For that to work, you need to quit your job, quit school, leave family behind, and even with your full participation in the case, you wouldn't even get to the court stage before you're 93. Okay? Anyway, my point is, sometimes, even though there are official channels and ways to deal with a problem, or to solve a conflict, or to get yourself out of some kind of trouble that you've gotten yourself into, in practice, it's just more complex than that. And most importantly, some things are a lie, and certain things don't work. I found out also that this business that I have a problem with now buys ads on Facebook, and Facebook shows them. And I tried to report an ad. I tried to report a page too, and there is no box even to write a written explanation or anything. And on top of that, there's a pop-up that says, most likely the system will look into my report and not a person. So, if I can't explain, not even in a few words, and if all I did was push button, and now a computer will look into my click de facto, well then, if that's what's supposed to help, then it is all a joke, because I know that the system won't find anything. Besides, taking down an ad won't solve the problem, and it won't even get taken down, because the business looks 99% legitimate. And it's like this all throughout life. Sometimes you think you have got things under control, you believe what a product description says or what an ad says. But most times you're simply disappointed. We're all low-key disappointed. We're just trying not to show it, or we're too busy to show it because we're already running after some next thing and we just don't have time to show disappointment about the previous one. Things just aren't what they seem like in this world. Not at all. You keep spending your money and that's all the market and the companies want. Nothing else matters, and they'll make you feel like a rock star if they have to, if you agree to spend money after that. And it's just ridiculous, really, because it's only a piece of paper or a bit of computer code. It's an artificial thing that has completely taken control of our minds. I don't know how it happens. I understand you need a certain amount of it to live a decent lifestyle, but once you have that, why do you want more? Why? Why do you always have to have everything expensive? Isn't it ridiculous? Isn't it more fun to get something exclusive rarely? I'll end by saying this. I always thought that I wanted to live on the coast, like to have a house overlooking the beach, you know? And now I know I don't, because it's an entirely different experience to have to walk up to the beach and to see the ocean after not seeing it for some time. An entirely, totally better experience. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.